Hey learners, welcome to Ahmad Coaching and I'm your teacher Dr. Anam. Today we are going to study about photosynthesis and limiting factors. The word photosynthesis is made up of two words, photos and synthesis. The word photos comes from the Greek word phos, which means light, and synthesis word mean putting together or to make. So the photosynthesis is actually a process in which green plants, algae, or some bacteria, they use carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, water from the soil, and energy from the sunlight to produce glucose and oxygen as their byproduct. So it means that in the presence of light, they are putting together water and carbon dioxide to make byproducts. That's why we are calling this process photosynthesis. In terms of chemical equation, photosynthesis is carbon dioxide, 6 molecules, and 6 molecules of water in the presence of light energy which comes from the sun. They are going to make 1 molecule of glucose and 6 molecules of oxygen. The process photosynthesis is actually takes place in the chloroplast, which is an organelle present specifically in the leaves of the plants, and it is absent in animal cells. That's why animal cells, they cannot perform photosynthesis. The process of photosynthesis is crucial for the life on the earth because the process is going to provide with oxygen, and we know that oxygen, it is required for the process of respiration, as well as it serves as the foundation for the food chain because the glucose we are going to get is actually coming from the photosynthesis, so making the plants the primary producers which are providing us with the energy as well as nutrients as well as oxygen. Now, the second term is limiting factors. The word limiting means that something is short in supply or is about to deplete, while the factor means some essential component or some kind of condition. So, altogether, limiting factors means any essential component or a condition that is in short supply relative to the demand placed on it. So limiting factors mean that if a particular component or a particular condition is going to be in short supply, although you need, for example, you need 5 grams of something, but at the time that 5 gram is not present but 1 gram is present, so it means this thing is in short supply or this thing is a limiting factor. In the context of photosynthesis, a limiting factor is a factor that constrains the rate of photosynthesis when it is in short supply, even if other factors, they are optimal. So it means that a particular factor which is going to decrease the rate of photosynthesis when it's present in a small quantity, even though you are providing the other factors, or the other factors, they are present in the optimal condition or in a condition which fulfills the requirement of the photosynthesis, but because this one factor is absent or present in a short supply, so the rate of photosynthesis is going to be decreased. There are 3 main limiting factors of photosynthesis, which includes light intensity, carbon dioxide concentration, and temperature. Let's discuss them one by one. First of all, light intensity as limiting factor of photosynthesis. We know that light comes from the sun. So sun is the major source which actually controlling the light intensity, and light intensity is directly affecting the photosynthesis by providing them the energy which is needed for the chlorophyll molecules to initiate the conversion of carbon dioxide and water into glucose and oxygen. So what is going to happen, that the sun is going to provide the light intensity, and light intensity is actually the energy. This energy is going to be utilized by the plants to make the glucose. Now, if the light intensity is high, During the bright days when the sun is shining bright on the sky, it means the light intensity is high. When the light intensity is high, it is going to increase the rate of photosynthesis, because now maximum amount of light intensity is present and it can increase the rate of photosynthesis. The light intensity is actually involved in the light dependent reaction. This is a reaction which produces energy rich molecules which are essential for the carbon fixation in the Calvin cycle. So we have energy and we have rate of photosynthesis both increased. But what happened if that sun is covered by the clouds, or if it's getting dawn, or it is getting dusk? So what will happen? The light intensity, it will decrease. As the light intensity it will decrease, it means that the energy provided to the leaves to perform the photosynthesis is also going to decrease. So at this time, even though we have carbon dioxide, we have water, but due to the lack of light intensity, the rate of photosynthesis is going to decrease. At this time, this light intensity is working as a limiting factor because it is limiting the rate of photosynthesis. Here in this graph, you can see that when the light intensity is very low, for example, when the clouds are covering the sun, or it's getting dawn, or it's getting dusk, it means light intensity is very low. So the rate of photosynthesis. So as the light intensity starts to increase, so the rate of photosynthesis will starts to increase. So here we can see as the light intensity is increasing, rate of photosynthesis is increasing, and it is reaching to the maximum concentration. Now the line is flat, it means that it is stabilized. Alright, so this is how the light intensity is actually working as a limiting factor of photosynthesis. The second factor is concentration of carbon dioxide, which acts as a limiting factor of photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide concentration directly influences the rate of photosynthesis because it is one of the key reactants in the process. We know that carbon dioxide plus oxygen, they are going to make glucose plus oxygen. We know that carbon dioxide plus water, they are going to combine to make glucose and oxygen. So carbon dioxide is very, very important. When carbon dioxide levels they are high, the plants they will readily uptake the carbon dioxide. Here you can see, and then they are going to fix this carbon dioxide in the Calvin cycle, which is a light independent reaction of photosynthesis. So as the carbon dioxide is fixed in the Calvin cycle, it means the rate is going to increase. The more the carbon dioxide, the more the Calvin cycle fixation, it means the rate of photosynthesis is increasing. But what happened when the rubisco, which is an enzyme which actually involved in the catalysis of the fixation of carbon dioxide, it efficiently utilize the carbon dioxide. For example, you are providing the rubisco with 5 molecules of carbon dioxide, and it is using at that particular time 5 molecules, and then again it's using again 5 molecules. It means at a time it is using 10 molecules, but you are providing them with 5 molecules. It means that the demand is increased but the carbon dioxide is decreased. So at that time when carbon dioxide level is decreasing, at this particular moment the carbon dioxide is acting as a limiting factor, because now the carbon dioxide is not available. For example, the rubisco required 10 molecules, but here 5 molecules are present. It means that 5 molecules they are lacking, or the 5 molecules they are not present. That is why the rate of photosynthesis is going to be decreased, because now the carbon dioxide is acting as a limiting factor, or carbon dioxide is limiting the rate of photosynthesis. As we can see in this diagram, that when the carbon dioxide concentration was very low, so the rate of photosynthesis. As the carbon dioxide concentration started to increase, the rate of photosynthesis also started to increase at a time where the rate is stabilized. This stabilization means that all the factors which are required for the process of photosynthesis, they are in optimal condition and the rate of photosynthesis is stabilized. The last limiting factor of photosynthesis is temperature. Temperature significantly affects the rate of photosynthesis due to its impact on enzyme activity. We know that enzymes require a particular temperature to do their function. In human body, this optimum temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. If the temperature is going to increase or decrease, it means that enzyme activity whether will increase or decrease, so that the metabolic processes within the plant cells. So, in case of photosynthesis, as the temperature increases within a certain range, the rate of photosynthesis it will increase, because now the enzymes they are involved in the process, they are more active and they are quickly converting the carbon dioxide and water into the oxygen and glucose molecules. But we know that enzymes they denature when the temperature is very high, and we know that enzymes they will not work properly when the temperature is very low. So at a very low temperature, for example, during cold weather, what will happen, the enzyme activity it will decrease, and this decrease in enzyme activity is going to slow down the rate of photosynthesis, because at this time this temperature is a limiting factor. For example, the plants they require 37 degrees Celsius of temperature to perform the photosynthesis, but now the temperature is 5. It means the amount of temperature or the level of temperature which was required by the plants is not there. It means it is limited. Although we require 37, but they are 5. So that's why the temperature is acting as a limiting factor here. So we can see in this graph that when the temperature is very low, so the rate of photosynthesis, as the temperature starts to increase, the rate of photosynthesis it also increases and it reaches to the optimal condition, and the rate of photosynthesis it reaches to the stability. But if you further increase the temperature to its certain limit, the enzymes they will denature and the rate of photosynthesis it will start to decrease. So this is how these limiting factors they are controlling the rate of photosynthesis. So that was our lesson on photosynthesis and limiting factors. If you have any more question related to this topic, or if you have any other topic you wanted to learn about, you can tell me in the comment section and I will see you in the next video.